Welcome back to video 3 of what is the Myers-Briggs Personality Test, digging into type dynamics, and can your type change? Let's go. Here's the thing. Myers-Briggs is not as simple as just a combination of 4 letters. The actual specific combination of 4 letters can influence how the letters interact with each other. So it really, just even one letter difference can make a huge difference in who you are as a person. So we're going to dive into what that looks like today. So remember I talked about, I'm going to use myself as an example because I know myself better than anyone else. ENFP is my personality type. So right? So extroversion, intuition, feeling, perceiving. So here's the thing. What this means is the way we understand type dynamics is we look at the last letter. Remember how I told you how this last letter tells you which function you prefer. So what we do when we have this P is we say, all right, because it's a P, that's perceiving, that means that I prefer the perceiving function, which is the second function, remember? So we look over here and we say, all right, I have a preference for this. This is my dominant function, is intuition. And because I'm an extrovert, right, because I orient to the outer world, I extrovert that dominant function, which means that I tend to extrovert my ideation, which is what I'm doing right now and in 500 videos on my channel. I like to share my ideas out loud with other people. So this is like literally what I do for a living is completely and perfectly aligned with my dominant preference according to Myers-Briggs. By the way, if you are enjoying this video, you'll probably enjoy all my other videos. So subscribe to my channel, check out some of my other videos, like this video, maybe even throw me a comment below. So now that my primary, so we'll say my dominant function is extroverted intuition, or some people put it EN, extroverted intuition. Now my secondary function is the other letter, right, the F, introverted, the I. So my second function is the internalization of feeling, right? How do I feel about something? What do I, if this is my ideas out in the world, what my secondary function is I go into, does this feel right? Does this feel good? Does this feel true? Right? So it's like an internal conversation with myself about what I'm feeling. So essentially what we do here is we're looking at the dominant function to develop in life, which usually develops the first, 20 years of life or so. As a young adult, we've got that dominant function pretty well, secured. We know who we are. We know what we're good at. And then that secondary function starts to develop even more. And I can attest to this in my own life. I would say that this secondary function really didn't kick in for me until probably my late 30s, early 40s. Now, there's a tertiary function, which is really complicated to figure out, at least for me. And nobody really uses it that much. It's not that important, I don't think. But if you want to learn more about it, you can search about the tertiary function. But these are the ones I'm going to stick to today. This is the important thing, is to really identify what is your dominant. And then what I like to do is look at, well, how aligned is my life and my business in particular with this dominant function? Because if there's a misalignment here, it's going to hurt, especially as you start to hit your mid to late 20s and 30s. And if you're in your 40s and you're out of alignment with this, I'm going to guess it's pretty miserable for you. I would say that the biggest breakdown that I had in my life, or I've had maybe 2 big dark nights of the soul in my life as it relates to my career and business. And in both cases, the outcome was more alignment towards this dominant function. As I mentioned earlier, right? Like the work that I do now is completely in alignment with this and in alignment with the secondary function, which has come online in the last maybe decade or so, which has been the process of going inward and reflecting and really looking at what's out here and also how it feels inside. For me, my tertiary function, which I'm not going to get into, but I will mention, is in the sensing category. And that's what's starting to come online right now. Sorry, the sensing category here. Like getting more in touch with my sensory stuff, like getting more in touch with how things feel, how my body feels, eating correctly, sleeping more, just that whole world. It's gotten kind of painful to not be aligned with that. And so that's the tertiary function that's come online for me. And some people never even go there. Some people never get past these first two functions. So a question I get a lot is, does your type change? Well, if you're typed correctly at the outset, generally it does not change. Like I said, there's a high test-retest reliability even after decades. And the fact is that because of type dynamics and this interplay and the development of different aspects, yeah, your type might change especially if you were mistyped the first time around. If you weren't as in tune with who you really are and what your preferences were, chances are you're becoming more aligned with who you really are, not less aligned over time. So if it ever changes, it'll usually change in that direction to become more authentic. And I need to say, I'll put a disclaimer on that. That's my personal opinion from my experience. So I hope you've enjoyed this 3-part series on Myers-Briggs. And if you're looking to bring more alignment of this type of stuff into your business, into your coaching business, your group coaching business, then let's connect. You can find out more about me and the programs I offer at superstaractivator.com. I look forward to meeting you.